What's up, everybody? MegaHurtz here. I'm here with the two guys from Casso. They're getting ready to go on here in a little while. They flew all the way in from Arizona. Wanted to ask them about some of their style of music they've been putting together. So tell me, what's some of the style that you guys like to play the most, produce the most?
Straight up would have to be trap. Trap is our go-to. We love producing trap. We also love producing house, progressive house, big room, all that, big shit. But we always find a home when it comes to trap.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, we produce all over the map. It just kind of like one song or one style will kind of like curate our next style, or we're just trying to just have fun in the studio and never get stale of genres. But for the most part, yeah, trap will be the go-to for us.
What is, speaking of trap, we talked about yesterday, it's focused a lot around the 808 drums and stuff like that. What is some of the production style and the VSTs that you guys like to focus on when you're making your own music?
I mean, it really just depends on what we're vibing with and what we're trying to produce. But like as far as VSTs go, we're heavily influenced on Massive, heavily influenced with Silent as well, and we mess around with Serum a lot, which is a great fucking VST. We love Serum. Great fucking noises you get out of that shit. But primarily those are like the three go-to things that we do use as far as VSTs go. But there'll be tracks where we'll just make like a whole entire track based off of nothing but samples. So I mean, at the end of the day, if it sounds like the shit, it probably is the shit. So that's what we base everything off of.
Yeah, we just at the end of the day, we just trust our ears. I mean, like we don't have no like restrictions from certain things we have to use or go by whatever everyone else is using. Just kind of make something new or fresh. I mean, we never have a game plan of when we go in the studio, so whatever comes out of it, if it's a dud day or if it's a good day, I mean, it works out. So yeah, just kind of be open-minded when we go in the studio, and things just work out so far.
Now, you guys are actual brothers, and you were into music a little bit before him, so tell me how you guys got together and decided to do this whole thing.
So, yeah, that's a long story, but to keep it really short, I've been playing guitar for years now. I'm self-taught, and he's been playing drums, and he's self-taught as well. I bought him his first drum set when he was, a freshman in high school?
Yeah, about there.
I bought him his first drum set, and so we've been playing music pretty much our whole entire lives. We started off in a band together, just some small punk band that we do, used to do little tours here and there, and after that I ended up getting into the producing side of things. So when I started producing out of GarageBand. That was the first actual DAW, I guess you want to say, that I produced out of, and I started off producing reggae music. Reggae and R&B was the first things that I started doing, and it was never serious. It was just for shits and giggles. Threw up a page up on MySpace when it was still a big thing, and I put my music out in there. All my buddies and all my friends and family were like, "Oh, that's good, that's dope, that's right on, keep doing it." And so I started versatiling myself by producing other genres. Started getting into rock. Well, I was always heavily into rock for playing music, but I started producing rock. Then I started producing hip-hop, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago, maybe about 3.5 years ago, when I found a home for EDM music and started producing EDM after that. And after that, when I first started out, I used to have him come over to my place every once a week, every twice a week, and I would come up with a track, and then I have him sit in, and I'm like, "Yo, what do you think about this track?" And we'd be sitting down, and he'd be like, after I play the track, he'd be like, "Well, maybe if you switch up the snare pattern here, maybe if you change up the synth pattern here, change up all of this shit." And about a half hour later, the track that I originally started off with sounded completely different, and I thought it fucking sounded dope. So after about a month of having him come over, I was like, you know what? He's my fucking brother. We grew up together loving music. Why don't I fucking ask this dude, So I asked him, I'm like, "Yo, you might want to jump in with this music thing with me, man, and commit yourself to it." And he's like, "Let me think about it." About a week later, he said, "Yeah, I'm game." So that's how we started.
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is true. Before I even took on the whole producing thing, I was actually a traveling athlete, and I was doing that for a long time. It was going serious too, until he asked me. Kind of like I tried to juggle both. It really didn't work out. The music side really was calling me, and it just felt more of something I really wanted to do as a career. And so far it worked out fine. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, I mean, everything I really did in my life was because of this guy. So the music, I mean, it just was like bread and butter for us. So I mean, we're thankful that we're both brothers and we get to do it. I mean, we have our brotherly moments, we clash, but at the end of the day, every day is a collab, and we always bring like our strengths to the table, and that's why our music so far has been like working out for us. So yeah.
Now, did you guys grow up listening to a lot of the same type of music? So were you influenced a lot by the same type of stuff?
Oh yeah. We're very versatile when it comes to music, and he was like always like listening to the same shit I listen to. Like, I mean, we shared a room, we're brothers together. So like whatever I listened to, he listened to. Whatever he listened to, I eventually listened to. Whether I thought it sounded like shit in the beginning, or same way, where he thought like my music sounded lame. Eventually, we ended up liking the same shit. So we growing up. We're originally from Hawaii. So growing up in Hawaii, Hawaii's heavily influenced into reggae music. Reggae is like the #1 thing there. Everybody listens to reggae. So we grew up listening to reggae and Hawaiian music. And my mom and my dad listen to complete opposite genres. So my mom listens to like a lot of metal, a lot of 80s metal, a lot of, hair metal shit. So she was big into like the Metallica, the Zeppelin, the Cinderella, the Poison, all that kind of shit. So when I grew up, I was listening to that. And my dad, on the other end, he grew up listening to all the 80s pop. And he was the guy, I like to say out of the family, was the first EDM head. Because he used to listen to ATB, techno shit. Back in the day, way back before EDM blew up and whatnot, he was listening to like ATB, Paul Oakenfold, all the old school guys, So back in the day, he tried to get us into it when we were like younger in like middle school. He's like, oh, you should listen to, this track, and I listened to him like, nah, that's weird music. I used to think that was weird music back in the day, but lo and behold, look at us now, we love that shit. But in high school, we listened to a lot of like hardcore emo kind of shit. So we grew up around that, along with, regular just pop music. Me producing R&B music, I've listened to a lot of R&B. So when it comes to music in general, like we listen to a lot of shit. A lot of people like to say, yeah, everybody says that. They listen to a lot of shit. If you were to listen to my iPod, you'd be like, what the fuck? You do listen to a lot of shit. But it's a good thing because it doesn't set any boundaries when we produce our music. It really just opens up all doors and all possibilities. Like me and my brother would sit in the studio, and there's a typical, when you produce any style of music, there's this. You got to follow this rule. You got to do this rule. You got to do this. EDM, 4 on the floor. You got your riser, and then you got your drop. But when we sit in the studio with the versatility of music that we listen to, we're like, why should we fucking stick to this when we can just like do whatever we want? Because as long as it, like I said earlier, as long as it sounds like the shit, it is probably the shit. If it sounds like shit, it probably is shit. That's the rule we go by. It's very simple.
Yeah, everything he said, like down to the music, he was more into the harder stuff. I mean, like the heavy metal and screamo kind of bands, and yeah, I was more into the pop stuff, and it just obviously bridged over as we got older, and we realized like there was no reason to be like, oh, I like this certain type of music and kind of have that at the end of it. But yeah, when it comes down to how it influences our producing, we pretty much feel like we're the artists. Nobody tells us what we can and cannot do. Why not produce something that we think would work, or try it out? Like every day we literally fail in the studio trying to be curious about something that everyone says shouldn't work or what doesn't work, but we just do it just to see what the outcome is. And I mean, there's a lot of times where we came up with stuff by accident or just by being curious. So when it comes down to the music, yeah, just listen to everything. We listen to everything, and that's what really got us our music that we listen to now or make now.
So what's some of the projects you guys are doing, working on production-wise and DJ-wise for 2015?
Keep on the lookout. We're actually releasing a track out on Panafunk Records. That's hopefully coming out very soon. We got featuring hip-hop rapper out in California. He goes by the name of IEZ. So we'll be playing that tonight at the show. First time hearing it out. So that's one thing we're looking forward to. We're also in the works of working with Goon Squad. We have EP coming out with Goon Squad, who's Sluggo and Point Blank. So we're looking forward to that. It's probably going to be like a four-track EP, and yeah, we're just going to be grinding a lot in the studio within the next 2 to 3 months or so. So we're very excited, though. We're very excited for the things that are coming up.
Yeah, so we actually have a lot of collaborations coming up too with a few other dope artists. Don't want to mention any names just because it's still in the works, but as far as shows wise, we're really working on trying to get this music out first and then curate our tour. Really everything is just gonna fall into place in the next couple months, so as of right now we don't have anything to promote as far as besides the music that like the Panafunk track and stuff, but soon you'll hear of us and hear of our tour, and we'll put it out there.
So if people wanted to follow you around online and find out about your tracks online, where can they find you online?
You can find us on soundcloud.com/Il Casso. That's ILLCASSO. You also can find us on Twitter.com, same thing, ILLCASSO, and Facebook.com, same exact thing, Il Casso/Il Casso.
Anything you want to say to your fans out there?
Yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to all our fans, to all our loyal fans that's been following us since day one. Fucking love you, and it's because of you guys that we continue to do this. I mean, it's nothing better than the feeling when you have somebody that's been following you from day one that walks up to you and says, dude, I love your shit. I loved you when you produced this track. Like, whoa, we always get blown away, and we're always humbled. I mean, we like to try to stay grounded and stay humbled, and it's everyday fans that we meet that keeps us humbled, and we thank you for that. We thank you so much for that. So we hope that you continue to follow us, keep loving our shit. If you don't like our shit, just tell us, you know. If you love our shit, tell us as well, you know. We like to hear good feedback. We like to hear negative feedback. Whatever it is, we like to hear it from you fans, because you guys matter. It's not us, you guys matter. So thank you guys.
Yeah, everything you said is exactly right on the money. Without you guys listening to our music or you guys supporting us, I mean, we would not even be doing this interview. And I mean, shout out to Detroit, because I mean, yeah, shout out to Detroit. I mean, coming out here and just having a day in the life with some of these dudes, and even MegaHurtz, and bringing us to his studio and doing his radio show. I mean, really, like, it's really like bringing us home and realizing that, like, people, you know, I mean, like, you guys work your 9 to 5, you guys hustle hard to get where you guys want to be, and I mean, we take all that into account and realize, like, there's guys that work just as hard and don't get to do what we do. So really, you guys, I mean, thanks.
Yeah, and I just want to say to all the guys that are fans of ours and that are producers as well, that produce music, keep hustling, man, keep grinding, because that's what it's all about, man. It's going to be worth it in the end. When somebody tells you don't do this shit anymore, when somebody tells you your music sucks, keep at it. Flip the middle finger, say fuck you, I'm going to keep at it. So keep going, man.
All right, guys, you heard it right here. MegaHurtz, Il Casso, we're out. Dubstep Live TV. Keep it locked. Peace.